Then we had that huge pivot, which doesn't sound like a big pivot to go from an app to a B2B company, but we really changed our entire business from B2C.
What was the insight? How did you got it there, who the client was?
No, it was actually months after. So what happened after the trade show was we ended up literally cold calling these people afterwards and saying,
and you still think your target is the consumer?
Well, yeah, after the show, we still thought the target was the consumer.
So we were viewing it more as like, I think, a symbiotic relationship. But
two-sided.
And we were saying we got to get both sides.
We were like C to B and B to B. We were all over the place.
Yeah, that's
Typical
right.
startup, didn't know who we were selling to.
So what was the insight where you saw, our client is the business?
It was after one of the phone calls with one of the bigger customer leads that we had. And I'm going to leave them nameless, but basically the way the conversation went was, oh yeah, this is great, let's do a pilot. And we find out 6 weeks later that they built their own internal tool to manage their feedback, basically copying a lot of the front-end stuff that we had. And so that was kind of the moment where we were like, we just lost what could have been our biggest customer ever, thanks to not being nimble enough and quick enough to adapt. So it was...
Because you hadn't built that out yet.
Well, we had built out the consumer part so nice,
right?
But we hadn't built out to the point what they were looking for, because we were trying to fix the pain point, but there were still some pain points I think that we hadn't addressed yet.
So they showed you where the product needed to go.
Exactly, and we listened, and so that was the big pivot, and that kind of took us the entire summer just to shift the business into that whole dynamic and become a B2B. Because becoming a B2B enterprise company is very different than trying to be an app. And so we had to do a lot more just customization, working closer with bigger customers. So once we made that pivot, we started doing a lot more data analysis. And that's really what Blurtbox has become. Is we're now a big data company that processes customer feedback all in real time and then generates reports for the end user.
Wow.
So that the manager can just get a printout every month that says, hey, we have to clean the breadcrumbs on the side of the booths because that's why people aren't coming back in. Blurtbox got picked up by, it's Google, but it was Google's venture capital portion, and one of the people out there had submitted Blurtbox to be selected for this thing called Web Summit, which is the biggest tech conference in the world for startups, and it was in Dublin this year, and we were selected to demo, so they paid for us to come out there.
Wow.
They paid for us. We got to talk to Google, we talked to Facebook, we talked to Microsoft, and that was a big turning point because after talking to Microsoft, we actually built our whole engine to plug into all those different Microsoft programs. So we're now built on Microsoft Azure, which was huge to unlocking the enterprise side of the business.